Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades, and yep, let's just get into it. And right away, let's take a look at Bitcoin, and we'll get into some few announcements right away after, but I want to take a look at Bitcoin because I did miss my video yesterday, and I want to give you guys an update on what's going on. So yesterday we did have the FOMC meeting. Obviously Bitcoin ended up filling the gap on the CME futures, which we can see right here. A beautiful gap fill on the daily time frame. I had this gap fill right here, right around 28,925. We actually came up and tagged it, and then we got rejected. We had a beautiful dump towards the downside, coming down to 26,780, and actually filling this short-term gap as well. Please keep in mind we still have another gap to fill right here, all the way down at 20,365. But we have another gap to fill up here, right around 35,880. Again, this is the CME futures, so this is where the future contracts are being traded for Bitcoin. Let's get back on the USDT chart right here, which is a Bybit perpetual contracts. And right now, again, we've been rejected multiple times here. We can see the RSI is starting to come down. Let's take a look at market cipher and see what's going on here. Now we have a red dot on the daily time frame, not too great. And we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up now, and then this seems to be starting to top out right around 28,900, which is where we have a lot of resistance at the moment, some pretty major resistance I would say as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got rejected and you came back down to around 25,000. This doesn't mean we have to dump here right away. We could definitely, chop within this range for a while and then take a quick dump and then another moonshot towards the upside after that. Because right now Bitcoin has had an impressive move towards the upside, and we might want to give some time for the altcoins to start catching up here. You can see that NEO is up 4%, and we had that huge pump on XRP the other day, coming up to a 30% rally, and then it corrected down about, I think, 10%, or wow, 17%, but then it bounced back up again. But ultimately, I think XRP and all the altcoins will be starting to get some more upside as well. But let's get into the analysis of why Bitcoin could be potentially in a bull run here. Obviously, you have the red money flow starting to exit. You had this massive rally towards the upside, and again, I mentioned many times before, you had that green dot confirmation on market cipher A. Right here you got a green dot, and then you had an impressive rally as well, and you got one right here as well. But this was this was pretty much invalidated during the COVID crash. But once it came back up, it got the green dot basically at the same level, and then you had your rally. So I'm guessing we would have gotten a rally despite the crash or not, right? So the rally ended up coming back with a green dot confirmation, and then you had a huge pump towards the upside. You had one back here in 2015, and then you had like a 6,000% rally, and then you had one in January of 2012 as well, and then you had a 21,000% pump. Now obviously we're not going to get a 21,000% pump unless the Fed prints the dollar to hell and we get the Zimbabwe dollars instead. Then you're definitely going to get a 21,000% pump, but I really doubt that. I think that's the really unlikely scenario. But so far, I think from the lows, we have a really good chance of getting a substantial pump, potentially back up to 100 or 100K plus on Bitcoin, but we're not going to get there overnight. It's going to be some backings and filling. You're going to go up, you're going to go down, and you're going to come retest levels, and you're going to break supports and break resistances along the way. Right now, on the shorter time frames, on the daily time frame, let's take a look. Like I said, you got some red money flow. I would expect a pullback here, potentially back to 25,000, which would be retesting this range right here, which we broke out of very nicely, but we haven't retested yet. So a retest to 25K would not be out of the question before another leg up towards the upside. But keep in mind, we do have a very strong uptrend right now on the macro perspective, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin just kept rallying towards the upside. But we'll get into some analysis as well as to why I don't think that's the more likely scenario right now, since we've rallied so much. But let's keep looking here on Wave Edge and take a look at the daily time frame. And right now we are getting a significant amount of selling pressure right now on Bitcoin. We are getting a lot of whales starting to unload some positions right around the top. You can see that the daily time frame, the MACD is starting to come down. The RSI is topped out here 12-hour time frame, we have already crossed into the red of the MACD, which is usually a sell signal. But for the time being, we haven't had any significant dumps for the downside beside the FOMC day, which was, by the way, a complete whipsaw day in the markets. And the markets ended up dumping on that day, and then we rallied today, but into the open, and then we sort of pulled back into the close. But on the 4-hour time frame, we could see we did get those sell signals right here, but nothing since then. We did get that red cross before the FOMC meeting, but the MACD on the 4-hour time frame is about to cross back into the green, which is usually a bullish sign. But since we're near the highs, I'm not so sure that we are going to get such of a pump, too much of a pump. We already tagged the 0.382 resistance, which was that gap fill that I talked about. So I don't know if we're gonna get more upside from here in the short term. But let's keep into account, by the way, guys, inside the Discord, for those of you who are gold members and you guys follow my trades on margin or not. When I post them, these are I set my stops and my entries and my target and my amount that I use for my trade. Please do not panic all the time about my entries and my positions. If you guys can't handle it, it's probably because you're either putting too much into your position or you shouldn't be trading at all. And again, sometimes I will hold on to these positions as swings and for a longer period of time. If you guys are looking to double your account or flip quick in and out trades, we have the trading floor here with Silas. He is on the trading team for Crypto Mickey, and he's more than happy to provide you analysis, and he posts his trades as well inside the Discord, scalping profits in and out of the day. And today he made over $428 longing scalps on Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. He longs BTC and ETH. So if you guys want to get access to his trades, feel free to become a gold member and you guys will get access right away. All right, let's keep going right here and let's take a look at the traditional markets. And right now we got it. You can see that big pump today that we got on the S&P ended up pulling back and we almost flipped into the red, but we ended up closing into the green. But overall, I think we are quite overdone right now. I think now that the cat's out of the bag, they raised 25 basis points and they could be pausing at the next meeting. The markets are still in a bit of a shaky position with the financial institutions coming down here. I think that we could get another leg down here to retest this resistance, and then we could get another rally once again. I think the Nasdaq right now is also very overdone. We've come back here to retest that $12,898 resistance. I would expect a pullback in those tech stocks as well. You can see Nvidia today was rallying incredibly towards the upside. It's getting close to back to all-time highs, which is around $345, and right now it's trading at $271 as we are almost about to enter a recession. I mean, this stock is going to get a very big pullback eventually, and it's going to be an amazing trade for those of you who are following my trades inside the Discord. We did get into an Nvidia position, and we are going to be holding it for quite a bit of time here, and I do expect a pullback in Nvidia. But again, could it go higher? It could. We have so much strong momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back up here and tagged the 289 level at one point. If the Nasdaq were to break out here, we go back to up to 13,558. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Nvidia tag these levels right there. All right. Let's keep going here. Let's take a look at some of the commodities. And again, by the way, guys, if you don't want to become a gold member or a crypto member or whatever to get access to trades, I do post free trades inside the Discord as well. Like I just entered 2 positions on oil here and gold, shorting a small amount on gold and taking a small short on oil here. And again, we make some great trades here. We took some very nice profits the other day. I think I took us some profits on West Texas oil. We had a long position longing near the bottom of oil around $64.97, and we exited our position near the top, bagging over $500, and then we actually ended up shorting oil when it was crashing right here. Let me just pull up the trade here. There we go. We made over $2,000 shorting this dump in oil. Again, you don't even need a lot of money here to follow these trades. I started in my account with around $5,000, and you guys can get access to all these trades for free. All you have to do is join the Discord and just be a member, and you get access to all these free trades. And look at that, Rick's posting his update on his trading bot, and they are doing amazing as per usual. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at the commodities I was talking about. Oil getting a nice bounce here. We are starting to bounce off this trend line once again. If we start to come back up, $72 would be my next target, but I could definitely see a little bit more downside in oil. We could start to pull back down to potentially maybe $67 to $66 before we continue back up. And again, if we do continue back up, I do have some orders to potentially start shorting oil if we do get there. And let's take a look at natural gas. All right, natural gas. Oh man, this asset is extremely volatile, and we can see that it has been trying to get some upside, but again, this B wave is very unpredictable right now, and it is hard to anticipate when it is going to bottom out. But I expect that once we do find a bottom for the B wave, we could potentially see more upside right to $3.50, which is my main target for natural gas. Again, this would be a very impressive rally. It would be over a 51% pump in the price of nat gas, but I would see I could see the possibility that this is not going to be a B wave, and this could have been or wave 4 here. We could see more downside, and if we do see more downside, I do have some lower levels here right around $2 and $1.70 as the all-time low for nat gas, or I guess the all-time low is $1.53, but overall I think that the lows are in for nat gas. But if they aren't, then they aren't, and we're going to take our losses and we're going to move on, and then we're going to long the all-time lows for natural gas. But ultimately, nat gas isn't going anywhere. It's in extreme demand, and I don't know why the prices are so low. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold is running into some resistance again, right around the $2,000 mark. I am in a bit of a gold short. I am long-term bullish on gold, but right now I think it's a little bit overextended, and we could see it pull back down to potentially 1915. Again, this was a very big fear play for the markets, and they were, in kind of a panic about why the banks are failing, and people are putting their money into gold and silver. As you guys can probably tell, silver had a very impressive rally as well, and that's probably why you see these two assets rallying right now. It's kind of a fear play, nothing to see there other than that. Let's take a look at the DXY quickly. The DXY is actually looking a little bit bullish right now. We have a very nice bottoming tail. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a pump back towards the upside to retest this 50-day moving average right there. And if we confirm this as resistance, then you could start to head back towards the downside and try to double bottom right around 101.4, or this big level right here right around 100, which would actually be the actual double bottom. Actually will be right there. I did have a level right here right around 101.4, but apparently that didn't hold very well, but we rallied the next day and we kept rallying after that. Let's take a look at the 10-year note. Again, the 10-year yields have started to come down here, which could mean that we could see potential rate cuts in further down in the year. But right now, I think the Fed is holding strong with their rates. They're going to hold them for as long as they can, and until something breaks. And evidently, the banks have broken, and they have collapsed. But I guess that's not enough. I guess we need more banks or something even bigger to break in the economy. But ultimately, I think the banking crisis is not over, and it is definitely not contained to Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. This is an inverted yield curve problem, and this is affecting all banks. So if you ever hear anybody talking that it's contained, like subprime was contained in 2008, get your money out of those regional banks, and make sure that you have your funds locked away safe from those uninsured deposits, right? Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. You guys are awesome. Love you all. We are at 17,800 subscribers. We're almost at 25,000. Once we get there, we're going to do a $2,500 giveaway like I promised. Love you all. Peace.